talk about data metrics. So data metrics is essentially the numbers that you track and analyze, or the data categories, if you will, that you're tracking and that you're analyze. So data metrics are essentially the metrics that you use to conduct analyses and use to make implied decisions from to help your product development. Data metrics can come in a number of forms, but essentially you collect these data. They're formulated in metrics, and you use these data metrics to help measure and gauge the performance and the progress of your product. All right. So here's some examples of data metrics. This is not the entire list. There's many ways and many data metrics available, but for some examples are total number of units sold, or channel costs, or the net revenue, sales cost, the new activated users, average user clicks. All of these are example of data metrics. They have an identity to some type of number that's being collected, right? Another type of data is something called key performance indicators. So it's a little bit different than a data metric, but a key performance indicator is a quantifiable measure to use to evaluate the success of meeting your objective. All right, so key performance indicators are usually performance centric. All right, so first we talked about data metrics, and these are individual data measures that you can use to review progress. But key performance indicators are usually composed of a small number of data metrics. So usually, a good key performance indicator has between 1 and 5 key data metrics. But key performance indicators depend on your product's goals and this audience and this growth and this performance in this industry. So based off the types of goals and objectives that you've set for your product development process, the key performance indicators are what you use to measure the progress of those goals and objectives. All right, and the purpose of the key performance indicators is to generate them and to use them to help you easily interpret your information to make data-driven decisions about the direction of your product development process. So here's some examples of key performance indicators. Measures of time, how long did it take to produce something, or reply to and respond to inquiries, or how long it would take to provide a particular service or particular product to customers. Another form of a key performance indicator, or KPI, is measures of quality, number of defects, length of life, reliability. You can also set key performance indicators around cost and effectiveness, and customer satisfaction. Whatever the case, key performance indicator helps you monitor the goals and objectives associated with your product development process. The next type of data that I would like to discuss is SMART goals. So SMART goals are essentially a guide that you can use to help you set and measure the performance of your objectives. Based on your strategic plan, it's a tool that you use to put in place to guide your goal setting, because it provides quantifiable, measurable data to help you, better track and manage the performance of your strategic goals and objectives. So as we mentioned about key performance indicators, these are usually made up of a few data metrics to measure out your goals, your audience, your growth, and your performance. Your SMART goals are set to help you measure your overall product development plan. And your SMART goals, when developed correctly, they help you focus your product development efforts and increase the chances of you achieving your goals. So SMART in SMART goals is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. All right, and with each of these pieces involved, you will be able to provide a goal that is tangible and that is reasonable to help you achieve your strategic plan. So here's some examples with SMART goals. All right, SMART goals have an action. It has a threshold in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. It has, a timeline. It is measurable. It is actionable. It's reliable. It's tangible, and it's SMART. So here's some examples. Increasing daily engagement, with product by testing 50 customers to get feedback by December 13, 2020. Like, this particular example is very defined. It has an objective, it has a goal, it has, an action, and it has a deadline. So you use SMART goals within your strategic plan to set these measurable, tangible goals up. So as you're progressing in your product development process, you have a way to easily measure whether or not you are achieving your goals correctly. So here's some other examples of SMART goals, but just like data metrics and key performance indicators, SMART goals are something that are directly related to what it is that you are trying to accomplish within your strategic goals. All right. So the number one goal for product developers is to validate your product with factual data. And as we talked about, your product is made up of an entire experience of a number of different components. So your number one goal as a product developer is to validate each and every hypothesis that you have with your product, so that each segment composed of your product is backed by actual factual data. All right. So as you're setting these KPIs, here's some tips. As you're setting these KPIs and these SMART goals and creating these data metrics, be realistic with them. All right, especially for KPIs and SMART goals, it can take a number of years before you can gather enough data to see, significant positive difference, with these particular goals. So don't lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. Be patient with your goals, and in order to do so, make sure you're setting something with your KPIs and SMART goals, something that you can achieve with the resources that you have available.